everybody, welcome to another episode of Cannabis Tech Talks. You're chopping it up with Chuck. I'm the editor-in-chief of Cannabis and Tech Today. This is our award-winning show, and we always bring you the goods coming to you live from MJBiz in Vegas, or by the time you see this, it might be almost live, but we have to give a shout out to our sponsors. They're the ones that keep the lights on. So Polyscience, Summit Research, and of course a shout out to MJBiz for letting us set up shop here. So today I've got a good friend and a special guest for you. He is the founder, CEO, ExpoCannaBiz, Julian Tobar.
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
actually,
nice to meet you. Con mucho
nice
gusto.
to see you. Nice to see you. You know, we used to say nice to meet you every time in Spanish. So
Yeah. Well, what I've found is if I meet someone and then like I've forgotten I've met them before, I don't say nice to meet you. I always say nice to see you. Yeah. And that helps cover it if my memory's not so good.
I'm good with faces. I'm not as good with names.
Yeah. So I have to use like an association. When they tell me their name, I have to like have an object that I associate with it to remember. Otherwise, the name just goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like word association.
Completely know.
Yeah, and you're a guy who meets a lot of people, right?
Yes.
You put on events.
Yes.
You put on great events. I got to go to Colombia first time and speak at your event. And so tell the audience a little bit about what you got going on. What's going on in Colombia? What's up with your events?
Well, right now we're on our 4th year.
Yeah.
So we started the event right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we had to shut down, of course, like everybody else for a year and a half. And now we're doing our 4th event. We're very excited about it. We are an international show. It's more for the Latin American community or for the Latin American market. So anybody who's interested in doing business with any country of Latin America, they should check us out, because we're trying to integrate everybody from Chile, all the way from Argentina, Chile, to all the way to Mexico. So we have a lot of people that comes from Mexico. Of course, we have an affluence of people that comes from United States and Canada as well that wants to do business, or they already have businesses in Colombia. But we're trying to make that market where, like MJBiz is for everyone here in the United States, Canada, pretty much. We're trying to do it the same way in Colombia, where Colombia will be the hub for all Latin America. Yeah.
I was going to ask you why Colombia, and that's...
Well, reason number one is when we first started, since I'm also a grower in Colombia.
Okay.
And I always thought that we needed a really good cannabis conference nearby.
Yeah.
And I started coming to these shows, MJBiz. I follow MJBiz everywhere, like New Orleans, Toronto.
Yeah.
Then I start going to Lift Conference and so many other ones, that you start picking up, meeting people like you, like Dimitri, so many others that I met throughout the years that I've been going to conferences. I said, you know what, we need something like this for Latin America, something well processed, well done, and so that way we can bring that international market. Because I think that is the best way to do business. For me as a grower, when I first came here, I didn't know anybody. Then not everybody has a sign that says I'm an investor, or I'm looking for flower, or I'm looking for this. So you come to these events to network, but it's also hard to actually get a lot of stuff done. You meet people, yes, that eventually become a business relationship.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring all those relationships to Colombia, so everybody that is doing the industry, because you have emerging markets like Ecuador and Peru, that they were emerging markets 2 years ago. Now they're going forward and they're developing real quick. And you have other markets like Brazil, and whoever is starting to legalize cannabis, they're gonna be an emerging market. This is a brand new business across the world.
Yeah.
So it's a baby yet. It's still a baby, even though there is some countries like Canada that is full legalization, Uruguay that is full legalized,
Australia.
Just
had a guy here from there.
Well. And listen to this, Colombia, the new president, the new government is looking into full legalization of the cannabis plant.
Wow.
So we have it as a medical, but they also wanted to do it recreational. And that will open so many more doors, because we will be ready to export anything you can think of, chocolates, gummies, distillates, all of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So Colombia, which I learned when I went down there, is first of all like a leader, like you said, for Latin America, and it grows things. Like things grow there. It's a really good place for cannabis, right?
Well, we have all the, how you can say that in English, all the levels of
Elevation.
all the elevations.
Yeah.
So, and cannabis grows naturally, pretty much everywhere. There are some difficulties on the lower level, close to the sea level, and there's some difficulties on the tallest levels. Yeah, when it's too high. But we have all the levels of agriculture, so you can grow really good cannabis pretty much everywhere in Colombia.
Yeah.
Plus, we have 12 hours sun, 12 hours night.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. And I was surprised how many international businesses are already in Colombia, especially Canadian.
Yes.
I saw a lot
We
of
got a lot of, like, for the first ExpoCannaBiz, there was already like 15 companies already that purchased other Colombian producers.
Yeah.
And that has been developing more and more and more. And yeah, I mean, it's very international.
Yeah. And did I see, were you at Berlin?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so I remember I saw you there, and I was there with STM. We had a little booth there, and I think was it Uruguay?
Uruguay was across.
Yes.
They had a big booth
They had a big
across
booth.
From you. Yes.
Yes.
It was.
So that's a little country.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like 5 million people.
Okay, so it's like the Rhode Island of Latin
It is very small, but I remember I spoke with most of them, and it was like the delegation had like 18 different companies. So it was like 36 people because they came in like pairs.
Okay. Yeah.
So I remember talking to most of them.
Yeah.
Yes, it was,
That was
very interesting.
Yeah, because I didn't know about it. And then there was Thailand. They
Yes, I
came
saw that one.
around,
Yes.
and so they're going big into it. So it was really cool. Like that's what I think for anyone that's watching this right now, or anybody that's listening. Of course, you're worried about your business here in your backyard and your state and everything like that. But go check out an international conference because you're going to meet great people. You're going to learn stuff, and you're also going to open up more doors and more opportunities where you could do business.
Well, there's so many opportunities, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Because when we went to Berlin, I met so many great people,
Yeah.
that I wouldn't think of. So yeah, it's good to go to other conferences other than the ones in the United States.
Yeah. Plus, you get to go to a cool country.
You get to travel for business and pleasure.
Yes, 100%.
That can be right off.
Damn right it can.
You can stay a couple extra days, and
Yes.
that's for pleasure, and you write it off as a business
In the
expense.
pool and
On the beach.
Yes, on the beach.
With your wife, with your girlfriend.
Yes,
Significant other.
Yeah. Take the boat.
By
go out
yourself.
there, by yourself with your buddy.
Yeah.
Bring your buddy.
Yeah. Dimitri.
Yeah.
Dimitri's a good example of that. He went once, and he goes like every 2 months.
Yes.
He loves it.
It's a really
He's so in
really
love
cool
with
spot.
Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia. Now, something about the people, I felt like they're very genuine. Like they just seem like really cool people. It's a cool culture, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with legalization there. Do you think it'll go recreational maybe in a year, 2 years?
I'm thinking somewhere from now to 2 years.
Okay.
I mean,
Seems like
that
every
should be.
place is 2 years.
That should be.
Germany 2 years. Maybe the U.S. 2 years. Colombia 2 years.
Well, Colombia is 2 years because the new government just took place.
Okay.
They took over 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So they still have other things that are more important to just legalize cannabis.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it will be 2 years. But if it's less, there is quite a few senators that are working towards legalization. We already had. There's already a project, a law on the floor that they have discussed it quite a few times. It has passed all those discussions already, has had an approval.
Yeah.
I think it's been 3 times discussed on the floor, and it has been approved for the majority.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it needs another 5 to become law, or to be sent out to the president to be signed.
Got it.
So it still has a long way to go. So
Yeah.
hopefully, whatever is left of this year, we got another session.
Yeah.
And then we can knock out whatever is left the next year.
And Colombia is it fairly conservative? like a conservative.
Very conservative.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Just like the gentleman who was here, Adam from Australia. You know, Australia is pretty conservative as well, but they have a very high. He said that if you're doing any kind of R&D there, research in cannabis, they pay you back. The government pays you back 43 cents on every dollar you spend.
Oh, that's a really good.
That's a really good thing.
Good
So they're
thing.
like, even though they're conservative, they're embracing this and they see the opportunity, especially for international business.
Well, you start seeing doctors
Mm-hmm.
they are very conservative,
Yeah.
right? So they're starting to get more open-minded, giving it a chance to the cannabis plant.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing legislators that had someone who had cancer or met someone who could use the cannabis plant, their extracts or their oils or in any shape or form, and it did some good to them. So they're starting to see, you know what, this is not really bad. This is something good. Plus, also, Colombia has had the stigma for so long that we are the drug dealers of the world, that we started realizing, and our legislators started realizing, why we want to let all this money to be in the black market or the gray market.
Yeah.
Let's legalize it, you know. Let's do something with it. Let's collect taxes. Let's make sure we have something that regulated. Yeah, that's the word, regulated. Because Colombia has decriminalized the cannabis if you have it on you, like the carry.
Yeah.
You can carry up to, I think it's 20 grams or something like that.
Carrying some weed on me.
You can carry about three joints.
Yeah.
And you won't be in any problem. If you carry more than X amount, it's considered distribute or intent to distribute.
Yeah.
You can grow in your house up to 20 plants for personal consumption.
Yeah.
But you cannot sell it. So you cannot do any commerce with it.
Yeah.
So that's where the drug dealers, you know, all the shitty people comes in and takes advantage of it.
Yeah.
And makes millions.
Yeah.
Now, if it gets legalized, like when Al Capone was here in the United States moving all the booze, you know, they legalized it, and now it's legal, and there's companies making millions and millions and millions. Investing in our companies too, you know. But it's illegal now, so I think it will be the same.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I gotta tell for anybody that's watching or listening, if you get a chance, go to ExpoCannaBiz, get involved, reach out to Julian. It was one of the coolest events ever. The convention center was gorgeous. It was like a work of art, like down there by the water and everything like that.
It's really nice. It's a really pretty one.
You had top-notch speakers. Mara Gordon was there. You had media, right? You know, cannabis and tech. And again, the people that were there were very engaged, and they really were looking to do business. You know, learn and network and do business. So I've got to say, I might be biased, you know, because you put on a great event, but it was a really, really educational experience. And it was fun. And there's no reason you can't have fun in this business too.
Yeah, and you know what? We have the catamaran experience. Where we have that is a networking experience, more than likely. So we hop in on a catamaran, we go on the bay, you were there with your girlfriend, and we have fun, and everybody has something to talk about cannabis, and everybody's in the industry. And what do you do? Yes, I'm in media. I do cultivation, I do lighting, so it is a really good experience. Our next event is in May 24th to the 26th. 2023.
So that's going to be here before we know it. So May,
yes, it's about 6 months away.
Yeah, so 6 months away. So if people are interested in potentially maybe being a sponsor, an exhibitor, or
just an attendee.
Yeah. How can they get a hold of you and find out?
Well, they can give me a shout. They can give me a call. They can look on the website, ExpoCannaBiz.com. And just look ExpoCannaBiz Cartagena on Google, and it'll pop up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've had a great MJBiz.
Oh, yes, I did.
Always good to see you, my friend. We have had some fun times, and really appreciate everything you do for the industry and opening our eyes to opportunities, not just here in the U.S., but definitely in Colombia.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Okay, everybody. So for those of you that are tuning in, that's going to be a wrap on this episode of Cannabis Tech Talks. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, download CBD TV. as a streaming channel if you've got Roku, Apple TV, Amazon, any of those guys. And yeah, make sure that you check out ExpoCannaBiz. I'm telling you, go to an international conference, broaden your horizons, get some travel in. It's a write-off. Go somewhere warm and sunny with great food and great people. And of course, make sure you tune in to the next episode of Cannabis Tech Talks. You've been talking with Chuck and Julian, and a big shout out to our sponsor, Polyscience and Summit Research. We'll see you next time on another episode of Cannabis Tech Talks.
Hey, hello, I'm Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong. Wait, you didn't think people would know who I am? Durachill. This is Durachill. This is Durachill. This is Durachill. No, hey, I don't talk like that. You want me to sell this? Buy it. Try Durachill or else. If you want something really nice in your laboratory, buy Durachill. You can't go wrong.
This show was produced by Cannabis Tech Today and Pretty Easy Podcasts. Go to prettyeasypodcast.com now if you're looking to get professional production help on your own podcast at an affordable rate. Pretty Easy Podcasts, making podcasting pretty easy.